You ever wonder if the way the world's top performers think is just fundamentally different? I mean, what if I told you that some of their most powerful mental tools actually look a lot like common anxieties or just kind of weird habits? Well, today we're going to flip the script on what you've always thought were your biggest mental weaknesses. Seriously, think about it for a second. You know that tendency you might have to talk to yourself or to overthink every single detail? What if those aren't flaws you need to fix? What if they're actually raw, untapped cognitive strengths just waiting for you to harness them? That's exactly what we're diving into today. Okay, first up, let's talk about that voice in your head. Yeah, that one. The one that sometimes even, slips out when you're really concentrating. We're going to look at how the absolute best performers take simple self-talk and turn it into a razor-sharp tool for solving problems.
Come on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're alone, you're stuck on some tough problem, and you literally start narrating your own strategy session. Not just, what do I do? But a full-on dialogue, like, okay, so if I reach out to Sarah first, she's going to need those numbers from David, which means I have to get those first. But wait, what if David's out of the office today? See? You're not just talking to yourself, you're building a strategy out loud.
So this isn't just some random quirk. There's a name for it. It's a defined cognitive process called verbal reasoning. By turning those jumbled abstract thoughts in your head into concrete words, you're literally forcing your brain to build a logical structure. It's like taking a foggy, confusing idea and turning it into a clear blueprint that you can actually look at, examine, and most importantly, improve.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The key difference isn't that you talk to yourself, it's how you do it. Most common self-talk, it's reactive, it's emotional, totally unstructured. But elite verbal reasoning is the exact opposite. It's proactive, it's logical, and it's always aimed at a specific goal. It is the fundamental shift from, I can't believe I messed that up, to, okay, what is step one to fix this?
All right, let's move on to our second weird habit, and oh boy, it's a big one, overthinking. We are constantly told this is a bad thing, right? A one-way ticket to anxiety fill. But we're going to reframe that completely. What if overthinking is just the messy, raw beginning of a profound analytical skill?
Maybe this sounds familiar. Are you that person in the group who just has to understand every single variable before you can make a decision? And people might call you slow or tell you to just go with your gut. But that instinct you have, that need to dive deep into the details, that isn't a flaw. That's the raw material for an incredible analytical superpower. So when you learn how to harness it, that messy overthinking evolves into something called cognitive complexity. This is the ability to take a huge, overwhelming problem and just systematically break it down into small, manageable pieces. Think about an engineer designing a bridge, right? They don't just worry about it collapsing. No, they analyze every single stress point, every bolt, every variable. It's the difference between worrying in circles and strategically charting a path forward. So how do you actually turn that mental chaos into a structured process? Well, it really boils down to 3 steps. First, you isolate the key variables. Don't try to look at the whole storm at once. Just look at each individual raindrop. Step 2, you model scenarios. You play out the if-then game. If I do A, then B is probably going to happen. And third, and this is absolutely crucial, you stress test your own logic. You actively play devil's advocate with your own ideas to find the holes before reality does it for you.
So here's the bottom line. Both talking to yourself and overthinking are basically neutral cognitive habits. Their value, whether they help or hurt you, depends entirely on how you use them. The world's top thinkers haven't gotten rid of these habits. No way. They've just upgraded them. They've turned them into intentional, structured strategies.
So let's lock in the key takeaways from all this. First, that voice in your head, it is not just noise. It can be your greatest co-pilot, but you have to give it directions. Second, what everyone else calls overthinking is actually just your mind's natural way of breaking down a problem to find the absolute clearest path forward. And that brings us to the biggest idea of all. The only thing separating a bad habit from an elite strategy is structure. This quote on the screen just captures the entire idea so perfectly. It's not about being born with some kind of genius brain that you either have or you don't. Not at all. It's about the deliberate, conscious practice of using the mind you already have with more focus, with more structure, and with a whole lot more intention. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. That thing you do, that habit you've maybe been told is a flaw or that just feels kind of weird, could that actually be your next superpower, just sitting there, waiting for you to give it a little bit of intention and structure? Think about it.